This is St. Louis Cardinals baseball. And tonight from Denver, Colorado and Coors Field, the weekend series continues with the Rockies. It's Game 2, the St. Louis Cardinals and the Colorado Rockies. Jim Hayes is here, and so is the Cardinals Hall of Famer Jim Edmonds. I'm Dan McLaughlin. The Cardinals turn to Adam Wainwright tonight, trying to snap this losing skid. Wainwright is coming off back-to-back great performances. We'll see if that continues tonight here against the Rockies.
Yeah, he's definitely made some pretty good adjustments over the last couple of starts. You see a lot more fastballs out of him tonight, and everything he's been doing is making his breaking ball sharper and his cutter sharper. Look for him not to throw as many cutters tonight. We'll talk about that more during the broadcast, and look for him to be right on target.
He's had very good numbers against the Rockies, a Rockies team that features one of the top leadoff men in the game in Charlie Blackmon, and a big bopper in Mark Reynolds. Baseball is coming up. Tonight at Coors Field in Denver, it's the Nolan Arenado jersey giveaway and a big crowd expected on this Saturday night. We turn to our Toyota keys to the game. For the Cardinals, the last 9 games, the record is 2-7. The starters, well, they've done their part to the tune of a 2.34 ERA. The same cannot be said, though, for the relievers, 7.14. We'll see if that changes tonight behind old Uncle Charlie. It's the Cardinals. It's the Rockies. Kyle Freeland, Adam Wainwright. First pitch next. Sports Midwest is brought to you by Bud Light, famous among friends. By Chevy Silverado, the most dependable, longest lasting, full-size pickups on the road. Find yours at your local Mid-America Chevy dealer. By Menards, save big money at Menards on all your home improvement needs. And by Academy Sports and Outdoors, for all for less. Denver, Colorado. It's been a rainy day, but it's cleared up just in time for a first pitch. A cool night here in Denver. We're at Coors Field, and the former Rocky will lead it off for the Cardinals. Dexter Fowler, followed by Tommy Pham, and then Yadier Molina, trying to extend his hitting streak to 16. Jed Jerko will play first base tonight. Then Johnny Peralta, Aledmys Diaz, Rando Grichuk, Colton Wong, and the pitcher batting ninth, Adam Wainwright. Kyle Freeland, a look at his Hyundai pitch arsenal, doesn't walk many. He's a Denver native, making his 10th career start. He's given up 3 runs or fewer in all but 1 of his 9 starts. He's pitched very well to start his major league career. The defense for the Colorado Rockies. League low 22 errors committed by this bunch. They're a good one. Ian Desmond, Charlie Blackmon, Carlos Gonzalez in the outfield. Nolan Arenado, Trevor Story, DJ LeMahieu, and Mark Reynolds along the infield. And Ryan Hannigan is behind the plate. There's a look at Bud Black. He's in his first season as the manager of the Colorado Rockies. And his club is playing very, very well. 9 years with the Padres, first season now with Colorado. Dexter Fowler will lead it off for St. Louis. 2 for his last 27, and he looks at a strike. On the season, batting .208, 6 home runs, and he's driven in 18. This is Memorial Day weekend as we remember those who died while serving in the country's armed forces. And so the players are wearing those themed uniforms and caps throughout Major League Baseball today, tomorrow, and again on Monday. That's tapped foul. It's the 9th year that Major League Baseball has done this with the hats, the 5th year of the matching jerseys, and the first time to wear all these together. Right side of the hats have 5 stars, which represent the 5 branches of the military, and the stars are stitched on the right sleeves of the uniform. Here's a 1-2 pitch. So Jim Edmonds trying to bounce back after a 10-0 loss last night. It's a long season. You put it behind you and you say, go get them tonight.
Yeah, you really do. It's one of those things. You talk about this Rockies team, and everywhere you and I have gone today, everyone has talked about how athletic, how good they are, how young and good this pitching staff is. And so, yeah, you're definitely going to have to bounce back, but you also know you got your work cut out for you, because this is a solid Rockies ball club in the likes that we haven't seen in a long time.
Here's a look at Nolan Arenado, their outstanding Gold Glove defensive third baseman. 4 Gold Gloves. There are 8 Gold Gloves in their lineup tonight. Charlie Blackmon, a very good one in center. That's fouled back. Blackmon was the double shy of the cycle last night. And he's one of the center fielders not many people talk about in the game, but boy, he's one of the better ones that you watch daily.
Yeah, he's very quiet here in Colorado. Obviously, we all know how good he is if you watch this team play, and we don't get to see a lot of them, but you were talking earlier about how great Mike Trout is, and yet kind of off the radar a little bit, not too much.
On the inside corner and a strikeout of Dexter Fowler.
Going back to that with Charlie Blackmon, but as you see this breaking ball down right here, good slider down and in, and this is that time of the day where we talked about last night how it's a little tougher to see early on, a little tough to get used to that first at bat, and now you have a little bit of a side arm slinging left-hander with a bunch of different stuff, a little cutter, a little fastball, good slider. This is going to be an interesting few first innings for the St. Louis Cardinals.
Strike 2, Tommy Pham, who's batting .310. Last night, Antonio Senzatella, one of their rookies in their rotation, had 98 pitches, 74 of which were fastballs. And 15 of his 24 outs came on ground balls, and Pham saying it was just a tick faster than you expected. Good play by Story to his left.
You know, I was talking to Chad Blair, the video guy, after the game last night, and he had talked about what's really deceiving about watching the game on TV here was the height of the home, or the camera, the high center field camera looking in towards the hitting zone is so high that you don't really get to see as much of the sink and the break and a little bit of the electricity of the fastball. And so it doesn't look differently for us looking at it, but the little bit of a difference of it, how high it really is, takes away a little bit of the movement out of the ball. And so last night we didn't think that there was anything special on the ball, and everyone said he had a lot of cut and a little bit of extra life that you really just couldn't see on TV.
Here's Yadier Molina. That's the center field camera located beyond the wall in center.
Most of the time that camera would be a lot lower, if not just barely over the fence.
And a 1-0 pitch to Yadier Molina upcoming. 15-game hitting streak on the line tonight, longest in the major leagues. And during this streak, he's batted .281. He had a couple of hits last night. Cardinals have dropped 7-9, and the offense has hit just .229 over those 9 ball games. Pitch taken high. Here's what you're talking about, Jimmy.
Yep. You can see it's not drastic, but it is enough to take away a little bit of movement. You could just see the difference between, look at the hat of the pitcher and the feet of the catcher. That just gives you that little bit of different depth perception, and a lot of the guys talked about it last night. You just really couldn't see the movement that he had on his pitches.
And the reason I think we bring that up, some fans at home are saying, well, what's the big deal? Well, these players rely on video. In game, in between at bats,
looking ahead to the pitcher that they may face. I mean, it's part of the game now every single day.
And the thing that they saw last night during the game that you couldn't see on TV was that the cutter that he had that really didn't show up on TV. And so that was something that they said even when he threw a fastball, it had a little football spin on it. So it wasn't a true four-seam fastball. And the ball was just kind of cutting and taking off a little bit. It was just something you can't duplicate or really see on TV. And you know, it's sneaky and a guy you don't see very often. There's not a lot of video on him, so kind of flying by the seat of your pants when you're out there on the field.
3-2 the count with 2 outs and nobody on Yadier Molina. Molina rips it foul. For Kyle Freeland, his last start was against Cincinnati. He went 5 2/3, gave up 5 hits. 2 of those were home runs. And here at Coors Field, 3 of his 4 starts have been quality starts. 2-2 with an ERA of 3.80. "3-2 is tapped slowly up the third base line and gloved by Arenado in foul territory. His major league debut was made right here in this ballpark. Hometown kid, loved the Rockies, and prior to Freeland, last pitcher to make his major league debut in his home state in a home opener was back in 1966. So you get the idea, it doesn't happen very often. That's hit to second, DJ LeMahieu. And a 1-2-3. Adam Wainwright to the mound when we come back. His 10th start of the year, number 263 of his illustrious Cardinal career. Charlie Blackmon will lead it off, followed by DJ LeMahieu and then Nolan Arenado. Carlos Gonzalez will bat cleanup. Mark Reynolds, Ian Desmond, Trevor Story, Ryan Hannigan, and Kyle Freeland, the pitcher, is batting ninth. Hyundai pitch arsenal, fastball curve. The cutter not throwing it nearly as much here recently, and he'll mix in the occasional change. Last 2 starts, the BJC healthcare difference maker, it has been Adam Wainwright. The Giants and the Cubs, 1 run in 13 1/3. Prior to that, he had been 2-3 with an ERA near 7. And again, not using his cutter nearly as much. We'll see if that continues here tonight.
Definitely something to watch for, him getting on top of the ball, using that fastball. And I think him being able to recognize that he needed to throw a fastball more, got his arm back up on top, and ever since he's made that adjustment, his breaking ball's been sharper and the cutters that he has been throwing have been sharper.
0-1 pitch is lifted out to deep left center field. Pham is going back and makes the catch. Well, the defense tested early. That's Tommy Pham in left field. Around the Horn is presented by Dobbs Tire and Auto Centers. Fowler in center. Grichuk is in right. Peralta and Diaz on the left side. Late scratch in the lineup, Colton Wong. So Greg Garcia is at second base. Jed Jerko, his first start of the season at first base this year. He has played there a couple of games this season, has not started, and Yadier Molina is behind the plate. Here's DJ LeMahieu, the National League batting champion of a year ago. Edged out Daniel Murphy when he hit .348, and this year off to a good start at .286. Fastball, and it's 0-2. He's made 14 appearances, 10 starts against Colorado. His record 9-1 with a 1.70 ERA. And the curveball is skied out to shallow left. Pham coming on, calls off Aledmys Diaz, and that's out number 2. What's very impressive is what he's done. The career numbers there against the Rockies, but here at Coors Field, 3-0.
I was going to say, you look at those numbers and you know he's had to pitch in Colorado at some point, so that's pretty impressive. And you see right there, 4 starts here with a 3-0 record, but look at that 2.73 ERA, and that's, he's got something figured out here. Maybe just make it simple.
Overall, we mentioned the ERA 1.70, lowest all time among opposing pitchers against the Colorado Rockies. So he's pitched very well against the Rockies and certainly here in Denver. Here's Nolan Arenado on his jersey giveaway night. Reached base in 13 straight, driven in 9 over that stretch as well. And he rips it to third, knocked down by Peralta with time, and he makes the throw and the play. A 1-2-3 inning for Adam Wainwright. 1 inning in the books, and there's no score. Fountain, frozen drinks. They're all 50 cents the next day at On the Run. When the Redbird scores 6, keep the celebration going. Stop by On the Run tomorrow for a thirst-quenching win. You earned it. Beautiful skyline here in Denver. Along with Jim Edmonds and Jim Hayes, I'm Dan McLaughlin. Jed Jerko leads it off for the Cardinals here in the top of the second. There's no score. So Jerko getting the start at first base tonight. Matt Carpenter, his last 8 games, just 5 for 33, a 152 average. So he sits tonight with the lefty on the mound. There's a look at Carpenter. Not in the starting lineup, at least initially here tonight. We may see him late. And not knowing about Colton Wong, it could be a very short bench for Mike Matheny this evening. Here's a 1-1. Stephen Piscotty still not with the club, dealing with a personal matter. What a difference a year makes, in particular with the season average here for Jed Jerko. He comes in 9th in the National League. 329, and on the road he's at 379. Wonder what Bud Black is thinking about Jed Jerko. He managed him parts of 3 seasons in San Diego.
It's funny when you see a guy move and get with another team and take off, but I think Bud Black is an awesome guy, and I'm sure he couldn't be happier for a former player, but he's done a really good job with this Rockies team and walking around the stadium and standing around with you, talking to people that you know, and the consensus was that Bud Black has really tried to simplify things here in Colorado and just really get the guys that go out there and play the game the way it's supposed to be played, and not try to worry about all the extra stuff that's going on.
Remember last year they were a team that shifted an awful lot defensively under Walt Weiss. That's not being done nearly as much. They say basically he makes out the lineup card, kind of old school, lets the guys go and play. As Peralta skies one into shallow center. Charlie Blackmon is there and makes the catch, and there's one away.
It's interesting that he's the first pitcher really to come here and manage, and what I like about that is when we talked about playing defense and how as an outfielder you're trying to catch the balls that were hit when the pitcher makes his pitch. So maybe they're doing that where, okay, listen, if you make your pitch and do what you're supposed to do, we don't really need all the shifts. We need to catch the ball that, not the mistake, the actual good pitch that you made and the weak ground ball. So I like the fact that he's coming from a different perspective.
Here's shortstop Aledmys Diaz. 1 out, runner at first. Jerko in San Diego hit .236. And in a year and a half or so now with the Cardinals, Jed has hit .267 and a bunch of home runs. 37.
Let me tell you one thing. San Diego is not a place to be a hitter. I can vouch for that.
Deep ballpark.
Dead air. Ball does not carry. He's a fly ball hitter.
I would say especially for a left-handed batter on balls that get in the gap. That gap in right center is as big and spacious as any ballpark in the major leagues.
And if you're a right-handed hitter and you're going to pull some balls, obviously the ball kind of gets out to left field a lot more than it does to right, but no excuses being made for anyone, but that is just a tough place to hit.
0-2 the count on Diaz. And he hits it off the glove of Trevor Story and into left field. Remember last night the Rockies turned a franchise record, tied it with 4 double plays turned.
I like this. He makes an adjustment right here and gets on top of this ball. And he just really hits it by Trevor Story. That ball was hit hard. I'm starting to see adjustments made with 2 strikes. I know they've been struggling. I haven't seen the Cardinals team that we've seen in the past, but I'm seeing little adjustments being made by some of the hitters, and it's really starting to pay off for them. Obviously, it's not making a huge impact right away, but slowly each guy is making a better effort to hit with 2 strikes.
Brings in Randall Grichuk. Defense very important for any pitcher, but especially a guy like Freeland. Only Dallas Keuchel induces more ground balls, and this lefty doesn't strike out many. Only R.A. Dickey has a lower strikeout to walk ratio. So a lot of ground balls, which if you're a pitcher in Colorado, normally that means good things.
Well, you pay attention to the velocity. Is average velocity somewhere right around 91, 92, which isn't really swing and miss stuff. He's kind of funky from the side and crossfires a little bit, so he's going to get some weak ground balls here and there and some misfires by the hitter, but if he stays out of the middle of the zone, he's going to have pretty good success no matter where he's pitching.
Grichuk is 5 for his last 29 with 9 strikeouts. Love to bust out right here. Now time is called. Here's the 0-1 pitch. in on his hands, fouled back. Freeland was the 8th overall pick in 2014. Number 1 was Brady Aiken. Most notable players from that draft, at least thus far: Kyle Schwarber of the Cubs, Trey Turner, now of Washington, originally selected by San Diego, Michael Conforto of the Mets, and now this young left-hander. In that draft, the Cardinals selected Luke Weaver, 27th overall. Jack Flaherty off to a great start this season at Double-A. He was 34th overall. Austin Gomber was a part of that deal. Ponce de Leon was as well. Daniel Ponce de Leon. Good news with him. Released from the hospital in Iowa yesterday. Was in the hospital for nearly 3 weeks after he took a liner off the head. There was swelling of the brain, but that has subsided. He'll remain in Iowa before he's cleared to fly, but that is good news. A swing and a miss on an elevated fastball to Grichuk. Missouri Lottery Fox Tracks.
Something teams have been trying to do to Randall and Colton Wong and a couple of other guys. Get ahead and try to go up the ladder. We've seen many of those swings this year, and something that, like I said, guys are working on. It's just hard to do during the course of a season.
A lot of fans ask us about Daniel's state, Daniel Ponce de Leon. So that's, want to make sure we get that out there. It's great news in a very serious situation. So out of the hospital, can't travel yet in terms of flying, but looks like things will be okay. Scary, scary situation. So 2 on and 2 outs, no score here in the top of the second. And this is Greg Garcia. He started last night. Mentioned the story that used to come to this ballpark as a bat boy. Grandfather a coach with the Rockies. His dad a first-round pick by the Yankees. And good old Greg, the bat boy, here with the Rockies. Here's the 0-1 pitch. Popped up. Arenado backing up on the outfield grass near the line and makes the catch. So the Cardinals strand 2. We move to the bottom of the second. Gonzalez, Reynolds, and Desmond coming up. His first start of the year there tonight. And we check in with Jim.
Yeah, his 9th career start at first base overall. Dan has met. Carpenter gets the night off. When Jerko played first base last year, he had to borrow Brandon Moss's glove because Jed didn't own his own first baseman's glove. Jed told me he did have one sent to him last year, but it was never broken in properly, so he had to use Moss's. Now the glove is broken in. Jed told me he takes some pride in being able to play anywhere on the infield. He told me versatility has become a big thing in baseball. I'm glad I can give Mike options when guys need a day off. Dan, Jed says he feels quite comfortable at first base, and after playing a bunch of games in a row at third, he says it gives his throwing arm a little break too.
All right, so there's Carpenter. He's on the bench tonight. Carlos Gonzalez at the plate. 2 balls and no strikes. So first baseman, Jimmy, and you did that in your career, you get a lot of conversations going. I was just talking there to John Tumpane, or check that Ted Barrett, the crew chief, at first base. And if a guy reaches first base, then you talk with that player. And then a lot of times you strike up a conversation with the first base coach.
If you're bored, I guess. I just looked at it as a nice day off for my legs and throwing from the outfield. But I'll tell you what, it's not a mental break from your mind, because when you spend your whole career out in the outfield, which is about 300 and something feet away, and now you're 95 to 97 feet away, those left-handers are going to hit the ball down your throat. Pay a little bit more attention.
Backing up Diaz, and he makes the catch. First base coach, by the way, for the Rockies is Tony Diaz. And he wrote a book, I think, that makes so much sense. He wrote Practical English for Latin Players. We have an influx of Latin players in the game. They come here, it's a culture shock. Many of them don't know the language. And so they have a book that they can go to learn just some of the simple verb tenses and words to help communicate.
Is that something like that black and yellow book that I read for broadcasting?
Those were the Cliff Notes.
I thought that was broadcasting for dummies.
No. No, sir.
Thanks for buying that for me for Christmas, by the way.
Let me tell you something, pal. When you got 8 gold gloves and played as long as you did, you're fine. You don't need to go read anything. Here's Mark Reynolds, the former Cardinal, who was with the Cardinals in 2015. He's putting together an all-star campaign. However, you have Ryan Zimmerman, Paul Goldschmidt, Anthony Rizzo, Joey Votto. It's going to be very tough for him to potentially make that squad. However, with the Rockies playing so well and being one of the best teams in baseball, you would think that they'd get more players in.
They are going to get some more players in, but you know what? They got a lot of players in this squad that might make this team, so he might come up a little short, but I'll tell you what he's doing right now is prolonging his career, because he's putting together a pretty good solid year, and we all know he can put up numbers. And you talked about him cutting down his swing a little bit with 2 strikes, and as much power as he has, he doesn't need to take that big old swing to hit home runs.
He's not even on the all-star ballot for the National League. And a ground ball slowly hit towards third, gloved by Peralta, and he makes the play. Academy Sports and Outdoors leaderboard. Longest active streak starts with a win against any opponent. Adam Wainwright against Colorado is 7. Kershaw will go tomorrow, by the way, against the Cubs. He's right above Adam against Washington, and Johnny Cueto, now of San Francisco, against Milwaukee all those years in the National League Central. Here's Ian Desmond, who is listed at first base for the Rockies on the all-star ballot. Rockies were scheduled to pick number 11 overall in this upcoming draft. They gave up that pick by signing Desmond for 5 years and $70 million. And they'll pick 48th, which will be the lowest first pick for them in the history of their franchise. Here's a 2-0 pitch. Fastball, and he paints the outside corner.
Pitcher's pitch, as you would say.
2-1 is in the dirt. Last start for Adam Wainwright held the Giants to 1 run, 6 1/3 on Sunday at Busch Stadium. That was his 4th win in his last 6 starts. Gets up the middle and a base hit on a 3-1 pitch. First hit allowed by Wainwright. 2-out single by Desmond.
Miss of location right there and up in the zone. You can see he and Desmond hammered that ball back up the middle, but trying to stay out there on that corner is just so hard for these guys, even at the big league level, to throw 3 pitches in a row in the same spot. You would think at this level that anyone could do whatever they wanted. It's not that easy. And sometimes as hitters, we give pitchers way too much credit.
Now it's Trevor Story hitting just a .190. 7 home runs, 17 driven in. Last year he led all major league rookies with 27 home runs, tied for the lead in RBIs with 72, and that's in only 97 games. Had a thumb injury that kept him out for the better part of about 2.5 months, and still put together a tremendous rookie campaign. He probably was on his way to the Rookie of the Year. Here's a 1-0 pitch to Story. Desmond, pretty good speed at first base, 2 steals this year. Yadier Molina has caught 8 of 25 this season.
See those last 2 pitches coming from Waino. Look like he's getting a little bit underneath that cutter that we had talked about. Sometimes when you come into a ballpark like this, we saw it last night with a couple of the relievers trying so hard to make a good pitch, you start aiming. And what he can't do, is being 6'7", is getting underneath the ball. You see right there, not getting on top, trying to make too good of a pitch instead of just relying on your stuff and getting on top of the ball and throwing the ball downhill and just let the ball do whatever it does naturally.
The 2-0 pitch. You brought it up, I guess it was 2 or 3 starts ago. We were working together and you mentioned how at times the arm angle could really drop with Wainwright.
Yeah.
And lately it has not been doing that.
Talking to Derek Lilliquist, the issue that he gets is he just comes around the ball trying to make the ball break or cut a little bit more than normal with the slider and the cutter. That's a good one right there, but what that really does, it really takes everything away from what you're supposed to do, and that's throwing the ball downhill. Shorten your arm up a little bit, the breaking ball won't be as tight, and you won't have that good live sink on your fastball, and so it really does kind of mess with everything.
2-2. Fastball away and a base hit into right field. So back-to-back singles, and it brings in Ryan Hannigan.
Another one trying to get the ball down and away here and just running back over the plate. See, he gets a little frustrated with himself as he runs over to back up the bases, kind of pounding on his leg, but this is part of the game. You're going to have to make adjustments when things aren't perfect, and right now he's just missing location every now and then.
Hannigan has played with Cincinnati, Tampa Bay, and Boston. Went to spring training this season with Philadelphia, released late and then picked up by the Rockies. Opponents are hitting .311 this season against Wainwright. That's 4th highest in the major leagues. Hits it down the left field line, but yanks it foul, and it's no balls and 2 strikes. Here's an 0-2 pitch from Wainwright. Trying to get him to bite at that breaking ball. And it's 1-2.
Change speeds a little bit right there. You saw him take the first breaking ball or cutter, and Hannigan was not happy with it, and then he pulled the next one foul, and then tried to change speeds right there, and he almost threw that ball to the strike zone, if not being a strike. We've seen that called a strike a few times this year, a few hundred times this year maybe.
Oh yeah. Here's a 1-2 pitch. 2-2.
That's the other thing too. Talked about that camera angle. The ball actually looked a lot lower on TV than it actually was coming to the strike zone. A little deceiving for the people at home and for us.
Third base coach there, Stu Cole. 2 runners on, the 2-2. Got him. First strikeout of the night for Adam Wainwright. Rockies strand 2. We head to the third, and there's no score. Baseball is brought to you by Steel Outdoor Power Equipment. Find a servicing Steel dealer at steeldealers.com or search STIHL. And by your local St. Louis area Volkswagen dealers. Kyle Freeland, the pitcher for the Rockies tonight, attended Thomas Jefferson High School here in this area. It's about 20 minutes away. Then went to the University of Evansville, the Purple Aces of the St. Louis-based Missouri Valley Conference. They started their baseball program in 1977, and Freeland is one of 5 players from that school to make it to the major leagues. Most notable was Andy Bennis. He was #1 pick in the nation by the Padres in 1986. We're in the top of the third. This is Adam Wainwright. And Wainwright hits a fly ball out to Charlie Blackmon. So Freeland, who grew up in the area. Here's his baby pics. Had a ball game as a youngster. Thomas Jefferson High School, became a huge fan of this club. Then signed with the club.
Put Charlie Blackmon on the left. Starting the Charlie Blackmon hairdo a long time ago.
Who would know what he looks like without the beard?
That's true.
Here's Dexter Fowler. He was the Rockies' 14th round pick in 2004. The franchise record holder with 619 games started in center field. He was traded in 2013 to Houston for Brandon Barnes and Jordan Lyles. So Lyles working out of their pen last night and lines it past Trevor Story. And it's a base hit into shallow left. We get word that Colton Long was scratched with elbow stiffness, and that's something he's been dealing with. The left elbow, which acted up on him on the last homestand over the weekend against the Giants, so that's why he was scratched tonight. You still have not ruled on that play, whether it's a hit or an error. Regardless, Fowler is your runner at first base. And now Tommy Pham. Fowler with 1 stolen base this year. Just scored a base hit for Dexter Fowler. He'll take it. Been a number of players that have come from this area and the state of Colorado. Goose Gossage, probably the biggest one of those players. He's in the Hall of Fame. They did have a #1 overall pick. That was Luke Hochevar, 2006. And Marco Gonzalez, most decorated high school player from the state. He won 4 state titles before heading to Gonzaga. And Marco is trying to come back for the Cardinals at AAA Memphis. No restrictions. The rehab is over. Coming back from Tommy John surgery. He's had 3 starts, record of 1-1, and a 2.89 ERA. We're told that Marco's high school is in the championship game again this year. And Fowler just back in safely. But he's the first and only baseball player in the state to participate in 4 straight winning championships in the sport of baseball.
It's a pretty amazing feat right there.
Sure is. Pham grounded out to short, first time up, and there's a base hit into center field. Fowler turns on the Jets on his way to third. Boy, you'd like to see that. Hard hit ball to center, and he goes first to third.
And you're right. You said you like to see that. And I was watching from up here thinking there's going to be a play at third right here. And I like the fact that he was going to take that chance because they need to get something moving.
And a chance now for Yadier Molina to break the scoreless tie. Grounded out to second. First plate appearance. Runners at first and third. Room on the right side of the infield. Molina trying to shoot it that way.
Definitely right there in this situation, especially with struggling to score runs last night. You try to go after that first fastball, and the best thing you can do is try to stay up the middle into right field and not roll over something, because he's obviously an easy candidate for a double play. He gets a ground ball to second or short. Just want to try to lift a fly ball into right center field and make it super easy for the guy to score at third.
Here's the 0-1 pitch to Molina. Instead of check on the runner, Tommy Pham at first base. Did you ever talk to Yadier about surveying a defense when you were playing with him, and how much he would look at it and say, yeah, I'm going to take that ball right through that gap on the infield on the right side?
No, not really. And I think that's something he's kind of come into in his last few years. He just does such a good job of staying inside the ball, and he feels comfortable with it. You have a guy on first base, and you can see how far the second baseman's over right now. It's almost he's just trying to stay on the ball and hit the ball that way, knowing that they're going to pitch him away. And what happens when they don't pitch you away is you get this, leaning a little bit too much.
It's where Yadier, though, that next pitch really stays in with it, takes a pretty good hack.
No, this is the best part about being a good hitter, is that really wakes you up and locks you in. And I used to like the fact that guys were going to challenge you and wake you up a little bit.
Another quick move, and Pham back in safely. He's got a pretty good move.
A really quick release over there to first base.
And the 1-1 pitch. Another check on Pham, back in safely. He's got your traditional move where he'll pick up the right leg and then not go towards the plate, but try to sell it as a pitch and then the step off and throw.
For me, I'm taking a smaller lead here and maybe trying to just get a jump on first movement if you want to run.
There he goes, first movement, and there's your base hit to right field. Run will score, and Tommy Pham is being held up late at third. Molina extends his hitting streak to 16 and does it in style with an RBI base hit. Good call, partner. First move, Pham was off and running.
I'm not too sure Tommy Pham saw this ball go by him, because when he looked back, it was a little late. And from up here, it looked like it just missed him. He didn't see that ball at all. I thought he had a chance to score right here. They did a good job. The Rockies did a good job getting the ball back in, because everything looked right for Tommy to keep running.
Chris Maloney was edging that way and then held him up late. Here's Jed Jerko. Breaking ball and a strike. That's 3 consecutive singles by the Cardinals. Jerko walked back in the second. As you mentioned, the Cardinals got to get something going, movement, and they've done that here in this inning. Jerko to second for 6-3 on the double play. 3 consecutive base hits does result in an early lead for St. Louis. A base hit to right, that was 1. Jimmy talked about going on first movement, that was 2. And because of that, the Cardinals thought about sending Tommy Pham.
Well, I think they could have sent him right here, but he didn't do a very good job of just running. And I mean, hate to knock Tommy Pham right there. I don't know if he would have made it, but as a runner there, you're really taught to just, once you get by the bag, you just have to keep running hard and picking up your coach. And you can see right there, just kind of slowed up a little bit to try to spin around. But not saying he would have scored there, but just straight basics of the game. Once you turn past second base, you got to keep going and not worry about where the ball is.
A strike to Kyle Freeland, the pitcher for the Rockies, who was 2 for 2 with a double and his first major league home run in his last start. Last inning, Wainwright threw 5 straight cutters that were balls. Yadier talked to him, and the next 2 cutters were strikes, including the strikeout pitch to Hannigan. which may have been a breaking ball. Sometimes it's listed as a cutter, depending on how it's looked at.
And you're right, and I have noticed a few times, I thought he threw a changeup in the dirt early in the game, and I looked up and I saw it was 90. So definitely, this camera angle definitely plays with what pitch is what, because it's tough to tell sometimes from the camera angle.
Foul back. Carlos Martinez last night, only 2 runs through 7, then a leadoff home run in the 8th to Charlie Blackmon. And in 5 of the past 6 games, the starters have allowed a total of 6 runs. So think about this. The starters, a total of 6 runs, 5 of the past 6 games, and the record for the Cardinals is 2-4. Offense needs to pick it up. Certainly the bullpen has had their struggles too.
Not usually how you draw it up right there.
Nope.
Make a guy like that very grumpy.
Here's a 1-2. Curveball, and he struck him out. Freeland knew it. And it's back-to-back Ks for Adam Wainwright. MLB.com at bat, your #1 mobile app for live Cardinals baseball. Stay connected with a fully customizable experience. You get home screen icons, app features, as well as game day, live game video highlights, radio broadcast, StatCast news, and more. Download MLB.com at bat today. Used to love that song.
Cracks me up when the whole crowd sings.
And Blackmon with a high fly ball into right. But after what Charlie Blackmon has done against the Cardinals, I've soured on it. So Blackmon is 0 for 2, and it brings in DJ LeMahieu. It's another 6 innings last night. Martinez into the 8th. The starters, to further the point about how well they're pitching, they've gone 6 innings in 32 of their 45 starts. At one point 10 straight, and yet the team has been hovering around that 500 mark. The start of play this evening in baseball, the Cardinals are 1 game back of Chicago. 2 outs and nobody on, and a pitch taken high. The Rockies, a win tonight would take them to 15 games above 500 for the first time since September of 2010. They've won 9 of 12, and in those games they've outscored the opponents by 40 runs. And a ground ball to Garcia, and Wainwright again looks sharp here tonight. 3 scoreless innings to start, and it's 1-0. Lewis and an RBI by Yadier Molina. There's my partner tonight, Jim Edmonds, and he's also a part of our Kubota Power Stats all time at Coors Field, fewest at bat per home runs. And Jimmy Ballgame hit a bunch of them. Ludwig, Sosa, Edmonds, Karros, all on that list. I'm going to show you a couple here momentarily. We're in the top of the fourth, and here's Peralta. And the first pitch is whacked into left for a base hit. So, Jim Edmonds, I think you enjoyed playing at this ballpark. Wow. I think you knew you got that one, too. Are you hobbling there?
Yes.
Is there a reason why?
In short, yes. I kicked the water bucket and I missed and kicked the bench, and La Russa told me if I came out of the game he was going to fine me for hurting myself. But I'll tell you what, I was so locked in at that point right there that I hit a home run, and I think the next at bat I either popped up or struck out, and I was so mad I went to kick the water cooler and my cleat got stuck, hit the bench, and I thought I broke my toe. And La Russa saw it and he said, if you come out of this game, I think I'm going to find you.
There's a base hit off the bat of Diaz all the way to the track, and Peralta on his way to third, and it's a double for Aledmys Diaz. Your first home run was off of Denny Nagel. The next one in the 8th inning off of a reliever, Gabe White. And at that point there had only been 19 runs combined in the game.
I think they told me I was the first person, or if the only person, to go in the upper deck twice in the same game here, which was hard to believe. Well, obviously it has to be done by a lefty, but it's been some pretty good left-handed hitters come through this organization.
Oh, yeah. Helton, Walker, those two would come to mind immediately.
Still trying to figure out how that first one wasn't a little bit further than 483.
And you're still upset about it.
I am.
Here's Randall Grichuk. Been trying to go up and in with a fastball on Randall. Measurements now with those home runs, they can get the velocity from the pitcher and then the exit velocity and do the judgment off the bat with that combination of the two, and then figure out launch angle, and that's how you come up with how they devise distances. 0-2. Greg Garcia on deck.
Thinking if there wasn't an upper deck here, that first one would still be going. Land somewhere down by the old airport.
Outfield is straight away. Good opportunity for the Cardinals to add to their 1-0 lead. Here's the 0-2 pitch. Struck him out. Breaking ball down and in, and Grichuk is 0 for 2 with a couple of Ks. June 15th, the greatest players in the world descend upon Erin Hills. It'll be the U.S. Open. You can see that on Fox FS1 and streaming live on Fox Sports Go. June 15th. Third strikeout for this left-hander. I wonder how often over the years Don Baylor, Walt Weiss, now you look at a guy like Bud Black, instead of walking the 8th place hitter and putting him on, cringe at that idea, especially with a good hitting pitcher on deck in Adam Wainwright, but especially because of this ballpark.
And like you said, you don't like to put guys on, especially when you look up there, there's only 1 out. I think that's a situation maybe with 2 outs you might think about it, because you got to get 1 out, the chance of getting that out. But if you load up the bases with 1 out, you go after a decent hitting pitcher, and if he strikes out, then you got the leadoff guy coming up with just 2 outs and the bases loaded. I think that's when things can go a little haywire.
It goes to 3-0. We'll see what he wants to do. Garcia may have chased a ball.
I like
and
that
it's
right
2-1.
I like him being aggressive right there, especially from a lefty. he's taking a chance. He's a pretty good hitter. He's got a good idea of the strike zone. So if he gets to buy himself a fastball right here, I have to go after it. It's tough on the eighth place hitter, by the way, to understand sometimes when and when they're not trying to pitch to you. You know, you could be 3-0 and he could be trying to throw strikes the whole time, and then all of a sudden you take strike one, and now you take strike two, thinking, oh, they're just going to walk me, and now anything can happen.
His starters in the last 12 games have gone 9-1. And much of that has been done by his rookies. 3-1 pitch. And he walked him. The second walk issued by Freeland. That might be one of those cases where he's trying to throw strikes and it becomes tougher for the pitcher, realizing 8th place hitter, I've got to get him out. I'm throwing strikes, and you get too fine.
You got to throw a good strike though there, and you can see he was trying to kind of run a little bit of a slider cutter across the zone and try to catch a little bit of the plate. And yeah, I think that's the right move though. You try to be fine, and you try to hit the corner because you don't really want to give in to Greg Garcia when you have a pitcher on deck. But I know they know Adam Wainwright can hit. I just don't know how well they know what kind of hitter he is. I mean, he's a patient hitter. He's a singles hitter. He can hit a home run, as you see right there. He's got a good idea at the plate.
Got 5 hits on the year. And in those 5 hits, a double and a home run. The bases are loaded. What a great opportunity here for Wainwright and the Cardinals. Only 1 out. Pitch right there has been very effective, down and into the righties.
Well, if you notice what he just did right there too, is he just humped up and threw 94 and also hit probably the best location you can hit against a 6'7" right-handed hitter, which is down and barreling in at his knees.
And the 0-1 pitch. Same pitch, doesn't go after it. 1-1. Runner has scored 3 out of 4 times in this spot. Runner at third, less than 2 outs. The Rockies would love to see their 6th double play turned in this series. 4 last night. And their first tonight, back in the 3rd. Wainwright out at the plate, out at first. With Jim.
Yeah, John Brevia, his journey to the major leagues was a long one, included a couple of years in Independent League Baseball, Brevia's contract purchase from AAA Memphis today. He told me that walking into the Cardinal clubhouse here in Denver was one of the happiest days of his life, as he put it. If I could put into words what I was feeling, I would. I can't. He said when he got the news of the call-up last night, first person he called was his wife, Amanda. They've been together since college, so she was there when things didn't look so promising for a big league career. Dan, John told me I was actually more excited to tell her than when I got the news myself. Nice story.
Absolutely. You love hearing about guys that persevere. He'll be 27 next week. Selected by the Cardinals, the AAA phase of the Rule 5 draft. Originally drafted by the Yankees, 30th round of 2011. He's wearing number 60, which was last occupied by Dean Kekeffer. And if you're wondering, Dean is in the system of the Seattle Mariners. Here's Nolan Arenado. You can talk about Trout and Harper and some of the great other young players in the game, Manny Machado, but put this guy right there in that conversation. Since the start of 2015, he has 95 home runs. Next best in the National League, Bryce Harper with 81. He's driven in 297. Paul Goldschmidt is second. And if you love sabermetrics, you would love this guy. Defensive runs saved, 50. The next closest is Justin Turner at 17.
5-0.
That's among third basemen. The 2-1 pitch. And if you missed this last night, an incredible play off the bat of Yadier Molina. Whoop. No big deal. He is some kind of player. The 3-1 pitch. And he taps it foul. He's had back-to-back seasons leading the National League in home runs and RBIs. The last to do that back-to-back years of any player, just happened to be a third baseman, was Hall of Famer Mike Schmidt.
You said it early. Guys like this that play in Colorado, and even Mike Trout not getting what we think would be the amount of respect that they deserve.
Fowler makes the catch for the first out. Won a great deal on tickets. Phillip at Phillips 66, 8 gallons or more now until September 25th. And receive up to 50% off on a pair of tickets to a Cardinals home game. For more information, visit cardinals.com/Phillips66. Here's Carlos Gonzalez, finally healthy again last year. Played in 150 games. When he can stay on the field, he produces. That floats in there for a strike. Hit at least 25 home runs for the 5th time with Colorado. Drove in 100 for the first time since 2010. And the 0-1. Good curveball. Back-to-back curveballs, and it's 0-2.
Right here, maybe Gonzalez expecting a little bit of a cutter, maybe a fastball, but definitely not that curveball. That's what makes hitting sometimes just so mental. You start guessing and thinking what's coming instead of just sitting there hitting on reaction time.
1 ball and 2 strikes.
So he doesn't try to go inside here. Fastball cutter.
Check swing. Did not go. 2-2.
Go right back in there with the cutter this time.
Ground ball that's pulled foul. for years in right field. They had the great Larry Walker, some believe should be in the Hall of Fame, and you wonder if guys like Arenado, Walker, Helton don't get the due that they deserve because they play in, or did play in, this ballpark.
I don't like that at all. I think the fact that Arenado is not a superstar nationwide is because he is here in Colorado, but I definitely don't take away anything from those guys playing here. I know the ball carries a little bit more, but if you look around at this ballpark, it is a massive, massive ballpark to hit in. You're going to get some hits, but to put up those big home run numbers here is just not flipping the ball in the air and watching it carry anymore like it used to be, where it seemed like those guys back in the day had some teams with some big time power.
Retired number 17, Todd Helton's number. And he is now a coach at the University of Tennessee in their baseball program. Some talk that he would join the staff here with the Rockies, but elected to go back to Knoxville, where he played football and baseball.
Just can't get it out of some guys.
Yep. 2-2 pitch.
This is the pitch I'm talking about right here. Carlos does a really good job of laying off this pitch. That's the one that's tough for a left-hander to lay off coming from a righty.
The 2-2. Tapped foul again. Wainwright's throwing the kitchen sink at him. Cutters, fastballs, sinkers, curves.
Different speeds on those curveballs.
To be pitch number 10. At bat started 0-2.
Might see the old ephus right here.
Try anything.
Back to the 65-mile-an-hour curveball. Here we go again.
He got him and took something off of that breaking ball. Third strikeout for Wainwright, and that's 6 in a row that he has set down. So the curveball on the Chevy Fox tracks, and this Memorial Day weekend, Fox Sports Supports proud to team up with Homes for Our Troops, specially adapted homes nationwide for severely injured post 9/11 veterans. Learn more at foxsportsupports.com. Great cause. Now it's Reynolds. A lot of ties between these two franchises. Reynolds played with the Cardinals in 2015. Here's a 1-0 pitch. Maybe the most prominent tie is the Cardinals general manager John Mozeliak, who initially served as a batting practice pitcher in 1993 for the Rockies, then moved into their front office and then to St. Louis. And John is considered one of the finest GMs in sports. He's done a great job keeping this club successful year after year in competition. Part of a couple of World Series teams in terms of winning. Been a part of 4 that have gone to the World Series. 3-0 pitch and a walk to Reynolds. The first walk issued by Wainwright. John was the one that worked behind the scenes to bring Larry Walker to St. Louis. Great deal.
Can't believe they pulled him out of Colorado after all those years.
Here's Ian Desmond. Larry would later say, he said, it's no disrespect to the Rockies, enjoyed my time there, but I was in St. Louis for a year and a half. If I could have spent my entire career there, I would have loved to have done it. I think you felt the same way too. You came over and decided to stay.
Different atmosphere, totally different way to play the game. Something was on the line every single night, and not just down there on the field. You could feel it from the crowd and from the people in the streets, and even the people when you sit down for lunch. You knew that everyone was behind you when you ran out there on the field, and that's something that you don't experience in other cities.
Do you have a lot of opposing players ask you, is it really different Is it really that special in St. Louis?
I think, you know, what's funny is most people didn't ask that. They said they couldn't believe what they saw when they came as a visiting player.
Desmond is 2 for 2. And it brings in Trevor Story. Some of the ties currently that we've talked about: Reynolds in St. Louis and the Rockies. Adam Ottavino, former first-round pick by the Cardinals, now in the bullpen for the Rockies. Fowler is here. 2013, that's the last acquisition by the Rockies of a Cardinal player. That was Mitchell Boggs. Mitchell Boggs, 2013, was acquired by the Rockies. The year before in St. Louis, led the National League in holds with 34 and had one of the most dominant performances by a Cardinals reliever in their history statistically. And then it just fell apart. It's with Colorado, the White Sox, Giants, Red Sox, his hometown Braves, and now out of baseball. Can happen in a hurry.
It's amazing. Sometimes it's a little too much stress trying to do too much. Sometimes you get worn out. Sometimes the game just catches up with you.
Good curveball. And it's 1 ball and 2 strikes. Trevor Story with a base hit to right back in the 2nd inning. Fastball, and he struck him out. 2 strikeouts in the inning, and 4 tonight for Adam Wainwright. It's a 1-0 St. Louis lead thanks to Yadier Molina. He's due up 3rd when we come back. All right, Sarah, thank you. Top of the lineup for the Cardinals here in inning number 5. Dexter Fowler on the first pitch. Fly ball into left center, and that ball will get down all the way to the wall. And Fowler will stop at second base with a leadoff double. He is the all-time leader in triples at this ballpark.
You can see that ball wasn't even really hit. And it stayed up in the air forever, and this field is so big, nobody could get to where it landed. Interesting to watch, though. The Rockies are playing Dexter Fowler right-handed the other way, which I think is interesting when you're standing up here watching, because he's pretty much a pull hitter in the air. And so he had to run a long, long way. I think that they're playing a lot of guys into right center due to the way that their left-hander pitches.
That was career double number 200 for Dexter Fowler. And now it's Tommy Pham. And Pham hits a high, towering drive. Deep left field. It is gone! 2-run homer, Tommy Pham. 4th of the year. And that adds to the Cardinals' lead.
Well, this is what Tommy Pham does for you right here. You put him in the lineup, you know he's going to play defense, he's going to run hard, and he's going to swing hard. That was some kind of towering home run. And some kind of call by you, by the way. That's what this is all about,
Danny. Well, you got a little scared over there.
Almost knocked me out of my chair.
You and Dan Hyatt started to hug each other in fear. 0-2 the count on Yadier Molina. Picked up an RBI base hit to right field to drive in Fowler back into third. Measured at 426 feet off the bat of Tommy Pham. And with that, they start to stretch now in the Rockies bullpen. The pitch in the dirt, and it's 2-2. Molina with his base hit back in the third extended his hitting streak to 16, tops in the major leagues. Big gap in left center, and the 2-2. Freeland has had a little extra on those fastballs after giving up that home run to Tommy Pham. See, he's frustrated. And that's hit out to left. Catch made by Desmond. This Monday, the Cardinals take on the Dodgers. 30,000 fans, 16 and older, take home a mystery pocket t-shirt. And see which one of the 4 different Cardinals logos will be on your shirt pocket. Get your Memorial Day tickets at cardinals.com/promotions. Here's Jed Jerko. Walked back in the second. Bounced in the first of 2 double plays in the third. You think about it, in this game, it could be much worse for this left-hander. The Cardinals had first and third, 1 out with Jerko up in the third inning, hit into a double play, bases loaded, 1 out in the fourth with Wainwright up and hit into a double play. 1 ball, 1 strike, and Jerko yanks it foul.
Ooh, look out.
After a long look, here's a 1-2 pitch. Mentioned that Bud Black was Jerko's manager in San Diego. Real name is Harry Black. Nickname of Bud. He got the nickname from his mother after the late Billy Gray's character, Bud Anderson, from the 1950s TV show Father Knows Best. Loved by Story. Had to stay down on that ball. Wasn't an easy play charging in.
It's a tough play. That ball's bouncing a little bit. You see here, I think it hits the edge of the grass and starts to hug the dirt a little bit. Always an adventure out there when you haven't charged the ball. There you go. You got a good look at that. A couple hops and then hits the lip of the dirt and the grass and stayed right along the dirt right there at the end.
I'm assuming that you knew Bud Black from your time with the Angels.
Yes, and I spent a month with him in San Diego.
Oh, did you?
Yes.
That's right. He was managing when you were there.
Yes, when I was stinking up the San Diego coastline.
Here's a 1-0. And Peralta pops it up. On the infield, it is Story, and he puts it away for the out. Tommy Pham, his 4th home run. RBIs 12 and 13. A no-doubter. The Redbirds on top. Five here at Coors Field in Denver. Cardinals about to hit the Rockies 8-3, and Adam Wainwright is pitching very well. Tommy Pham, 2-run homer, his 4th of the year. It's Hannigan, Freeland, and then Blackmon. They're stretching but not throwing in the Rockies bullpen. Now, one thing that has happened with Wainwright this year, he's been given a lot of leads. Can he hold those leads? Recently he has. Early on in the season he did not.
Well, this is about the time, I think, as a pitcher, especially when you're struggling with your mechanics, when you start to rely on, let's say, Wainwright and his cutter, and you start to overthrow it and trying to protect the lead. See if you can't just keep going out there and pumping fastballs, getting ahead, and then using that breaking ball to put guys away. But like I said, you fall in love with a pitch, and as the game progresses, you start to lose those mechanics, trying to make that pitch better and better and better. That's kind of the thing we talked about earlier, getting around the ball, and then everything else goes away.
Is it really that cold? I mean, it's chilly, but I'm not sure it's that cold.
Well, you know, they're sitting down there doing nothing. Those guys.
What are we doing?
I'm cold. I'm dancing up here trying to stay warm. Are you kidding?
Strikeout number 5 for Adam Wainwright. T-Mobile Unlimited Baseball Break. Some of the news today in baseball. Frank Robinson, the Indians unveil a statue to the first African-American manager in Major League Baseball history. And John Lackey tonight, 5-0 loss to the Dodgers. Here's Freeland. Frank Robinson won the MVP in both leagues. And certainly deserving of that monument and that statue. 1 ball, 1 strike. The high fastball. 1-2 the count. And the curveball did not go. The 2-2 pitch by Adam Wainwright. Fouled back. The 2-2. Breaks his bat, slowly hit to first. Jerko to Wainwright. Just got him by a step. With that, there's 2 outs, and the batter will be Charlie Blackmon. This is our Kia in the driver's seats. Blackmon against Adam Wainwright, coming off a near cycle last night. But he's 7 for 14, and tonight held in check. Fly ball to left and also a fly ball to right. 0 for 2. Blackmon after the game was asked about not going for the double, and he could have. He could have tried to have stretched it to a double to get the cycle, and he said, we're up 10-0. That's not how you play the game.
You know what? That is the exact right answer. Wasn't expecting for that to be the end of the story, but I'll tell you right there, it makes me appreciate him that much more.
Came in 7th in the league in hitting at .337. Leading baseball in RBIs with 45 and doing that from the leadoff spot. That is league leading 7th triple of the season last night. And of his 69 hits, 39 have gone for extra bases. So any way you want to add it up, this guy's having an all-star, maybe an MVP type season. Batting .418 at home. That's tops in the major leagues. And yet not many people are talking about Charlie Blackmon. 2-1 the count. The 2-1 pitch. 3-1. Was a cycle that was hit here earlier this season for San Diego. Will Myers, their first ever cycle in franchise history for the Padres. Here's a 3-1 pitch and a ground ball that's hit to second, taken there by Garcia. So Wainwright is through 5 and is not allowed to run. 3-0 our score. Cardinals last cycle was hit by Mark Grudzielanek, but there was a cycle that was hit in this ballpark, the natural cycle by Maves, May 18th, 1996. This park has seen 15 cycles. And John Mabry was the first ever here at Coors Field. And a ground ball that's hit to short. Been 2 natural cycles hit at Coors Field, and Mabry was number 1, and then one other one along the 15 that have been hit here.
It was a young John Mabry. Right
yes,
there.
It was. 3 different stints for Mabes wearing that Cardinal uniform as a player. Diaz is 2 for 3, and now Randall Grichuk. Fastball and a strike. By the way, for Diaz, it's now 5 consecutive games with a double. First to do that for the Cardinals since Rogers Hornsby did it in 1917. The Cardinals' record is 8 straight. Yadier Molina did that a year ago. Grichuk is 0 for 2. Chopped foul. And the 1-2 pitch. 2 balls and 2 strikes.
And you can see right there, they're trying to get that pitch we've been talking about going up the ladder with Grichuk. But the thing with that is, if you lay off that pitch, you buy yourself another slider or a fastball away, and you just got to really work on laying off that pitch with 2 strikes.
That's the pitch there that they've been getting them on.
Well, and you know what? Like I said, they only try it once, and that's the one you have to try to lay off on, because then they go, okay, I've tried it, didn't work. I got to go find something else.
See what they want here.
Pretty much everything.
Yeah. That's hit out of play. If you've just joined us and you see the green caps, that's for Memorial Day around Major League Baseball. First time with the jerseys to do that. You'll see that all weekend long to honor those that serve in the military or those that have served. Grichuk with a high fly ball into right. Gonzalez under it. 2 down. Keep the party going on June 10th. Ritz kickoff to summer weekend at Busch Stadium. And that day, the Cardinals take on the Phillies. 30,000 fans, 16 and older. Get a fashion boost with a one-of-a-kind Cardinals all over print shirt. Don't miss out. Tickets at cardinals.com/promotions. Two outs, and here's Garcia. He is walked and he is popped out. Wong, a late scratch in the lineup, nursing a sore left elbow. Saddened to hear the news of Jim Bunning, who passed away today. Pitched a perfect game on Father's Day 1964. pitching for the Phillies against the Mets. He, the father of 9 children. His oldest daughter and his wife actually made the trip, were in the seats, and they wouldn't have been there unless it was Father's Day, and they saw him pitch a perfect game. Threw no hitters in both leagues. 6 terms in the House and 2 seats, or rather 2 times he served in the Senate, 2 different terms, and Jim Bunning passed away this afternoon at the age of 85. Two and two. What a way to do it. Father's Day, and you have family in the seats and you pitch a perfect game. A little bit low to Greg Garcia.
I remember when Griffey hit his 500th home run on Father's Day. His dad sitting right there next to the dugout.
Busch Stadium too.
Pretty cool right there.
Yep. Took him a while to get there too.
Another good at bat by Greg Garcia. We keep talking about it time after time. He goes out there and just gives you a good at bat, no matter who's on the mound. You can see why this team is doing so well, these Colorado Rockies. I mean, they 2 young guys back to back with just really good stuff. Difficult to pick up, good breaking balls, really can move the ball all over the zone.
Three-two pitch and a strikeout. Baseball mourns the passing of Jim Bunning on this Saturday night. They have a lead of 3-0. We move to the bottom of the 6th. Sunday, June 11th, kids 15 and under entering with a ticket can take the field like the pros with their new Rawlings Kids baseball glove featuring 2 Cardinal logos. Join us at Busch Stadium, final day of the Reds kickoff to summer weekend. Cardinals.com/promotions. Hope you're having a good Memorial Day weekend. Again, you see the stars on the side of the cap, remembering those who died while serving in the country's armed forces. Memorial Day. So this is 2, 3, and 4 in the lineup, and a breaking ball that backs up inside for ball 1. LeMahieu is fly to left and also grounded out to second.
Pretty important inning right here for Adam. I think get through this part of the lineup. Looking pretty good.
Now, usually, if you see a big pile of gum behind Adam Wainwright when he's pitching on the field, near the mound, and a lot of those pieces of used gum, that means it's a good night for Adam Wainwright. There they are. Tommy, our director, finds them. He has a new stick of gum, if you will, for every inning. And then he'll spit one out. That's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5.
Makes me nervous that Tom Mee can find those if he wants to eat them after the game's over.
Gonna put them on eBay.
Ooh, not a bad idea.
Get your used Adam Wainwright gum. Cardinals don't know. I'm smelling a giveaway, though.
You almost went too far with that. Cardinals dot.
No, can't do it. Slash chewed gum.
You see me running on the field after the game, you'll know why. On the way to the bus.
2-2. Jammed him. Ground ball that's hit to second. And Garcia makes the play. So the Mayhew is 0 for 3. And thus far, the first 3, check it, the first 4 hitters in this lineup are now 0 for 10. At the plate, Nolan Arenado. It's pretty hard to believe the Rockies in 25 years of existence have one winning season on the road. One. That 1 year was 1 game above the 500 mark. This year, though, they're 18-8. To put it in perspective, last year they went 33-48 on the road. Okay, so you're 15 games below 500 away from Coors Field. And that was their best record away from home since 2011. It's a different team this year. A lot of credit given due to Bud Black in visiting with all his players in the offseason. That pitch is popped up. Jerko, foul territory, makes the catch. Apparently he went and found where everybody lives and made a trip. If they weren't in the area for a get-together or a winter warm-up or caravan, he went out to go visit personally with all his players.
I think it's a really good idea. I think he's been around a long time. He knows what it takes, and I think anytime you're starting over, the relationship between the manager and the players is huge when it comes down to crunch time and to get your players to really go out and play that extra little bit for you. Players really just want to know that you got their back no matter what.
Ground ball that's hit to second. Adam Wainwright has allowed 1 run in his last 20 innings. Fun night of baseball thus far for the Cardinals here in Denver. Yadier Molina got things started with a base hit that scored a run. Adam Wainwright has been terrific tonight. Last inning, a 10-pitch inning. And Tommy Pham a long two-run homer that's made it a 3-run lead for St. Louis. New pitcher in as we start play here in the 7th. It'll be Scott Oberg, a right-hander, who takes over for the starter, Kyle Freeland, the lefty. And this is the Gateway Honda home run inning. Cardinals hit a home run. The Gateway Honda dealers donate $1,000 to the Make-A-Wish Foundation of Missouri. 2 years ago in our Chevy Call to the Pen, Oberg 64 games, last year 24. And here at home, a very high ERA of 8.68 at home. On the road, 2.89. Wainwright on the first pitch hits a high fly ball into shallow left center. Charlie Blackmon with the catch.
Well, Danny, you're going to see a little bit different style of pitching now. Velocity a little higher, fastball in the mid-90s. And just basically a slider and a changeup. So, you know, I think the Cardinals did a good job getting 3 runs off the starter, and then see if you get a little bit more conventional pitcher coming out of the bullpen if they can't get a couple more runs, because you know what they say, never enough runs in Colorado until that game is over with.
No truer statement, my friend. So 1 out, nobody on, and here is Dexter Fowler, 2 hits tonight. First pitch a little low. He struck out on a curveball back in the first, singled and scored in the third, doubled to left center, and came around on the Pham home run. Oberg had 3 different stints with the Rockies a year ago. That's chopped left side and foul. And last year it was relieved. He had revealed that he finally was relieved to find out why he had so much pain in his arm. He had blood clots in his arm and had to have surgery because of that, cut his year short. Fowler with a fly ball. Again, it's Charlie Blackmon. Take you back to the 5th inning. 2-run homer, our Nissan drive of the game off the bat of Tommy Pham. His 4th home run. RBIs 12 and 13. Last year, the bullpen ERA for the Rockies, and this was a point of emphasis for them. They had to improve their bullpen. Collectively, the ERA of 5.10. It was last in baseball. Currently 17th in the game, but it's a drastic upgrade by a run. 4.10. Here's the 0-1. Pitch in 96. 2 balls and 1 strike. Hit out of play. Wainwright will have Reynolds, Desmond, and Story coming up. The 2-2. Base hit, Tommy Pham. 3-hit night. Looks like he's ready to go on one of those patented streaks again.
You know, he's been doing a really good job. The Tommy Pham from the year before, and maybe even a little bit before that, just always swinging hard, swinging through a lot of sliders, hitting the fastball though, and you're seeing this year he's making adjustments. You see him taking a good swing at a slider without even really taking a little bit of a hesitation. So seeing the ball good and making some huge adjustments.
Here's Yadier Molina, base hit, RBI back in the 3rd. It's now a 16-game hitting streak, which ties Justin Turner for the longest in the National League this year. Longest in all of baseball is 17 games this year. So he'll have a chance tomorrow or Monday, if he doesn't play tomorrow, to match that. And the 1-0 pitch to the Cardinals catcher. It's a ball and a strike. Tommy Pham looking at the pitcher and trying to get his key of when to run. When you were taught as a base stealer or a runner at first base to take the secondary lead, you're safe enough to do it. Against a right-handed pitcher, what's your focal point?
Well, when you're just looking at the back of the right-handed pitcher's legs, you can either see his knees break or which foot will get picked up first. You can see how intent he's watching the pitcher right there. But like you said, as soon as he breaks and starts to go to the plate, you're taught to take a couple of good, hard, aggressive jumps. And then when you're landing as the ball's crossing the plate, you want to be on your front foot, ready to go forward. With no swing, you pivot and you come right back.
Ooh, just back in time.
Tommy looks like he wants to run again.
Very close at first base. Base stealers are 6 for 6 off of Ryan Hannigan this year.
It's just about to say a left-handed fielding first baseman.
He's out.
Might have had Tommy Pham out. You know who's the best I've ever seen at that? And I've seen a lot of good first basemen. JT Snow. And I asked him how he was able to tag people so quickly. And he said all he really tried to do is time the ball as he was getting there and just go straight down on top of the bag. There was no catch and pull it back. He would let the ball travel as far as he could because the ball was so much faster, obviously, than the tag.
That split second might be the difference.
Kind of like when you watch Baez tag at second base in Chicago. It just, you don't really want to go out there and get the ball when you need to make a quick tag. You want to let the ball travel, and literally you're just turning the ball down onto the bag with your hand and not pulling it back with your whole arm. It was a very unique talent.
Keith Hernandez was great at that too.
And impossible for a right-hander to do.
A fly ball that's lifted down the right field line and out of play. Another huge crowd tonight here in Denver. Holiday weekend. A lot of Cardinal fans have made this trip. We're back home on Monday afternoon, Memorial Day, against the Dodgers. First of 4. It's only a 4-game homestand. Good giveaways coming up. Not included in there, though, is the Wainwright used gun. Very concerned with Tommy Pham is Oberg.
I think his intensity is making him nervous.
He was running on the pitch and it's popped up. Reynolds wants it. Time to stretch here at Coors Field. Pham a 3-hit night and it's 3-0. Tommy Pham on the right. State Farm, perfect pair this evening. Dexter is 2 for 4. Pham is 3 for 4. That includes a 2-run homer. So the bottom of the 7th, Mark Reynolds, Ian Desmond, Trevor Story. Reynolds has grounded out to 3rd and also walked back in the 4th. I know you feel this could be a big inning for Wainwright, not just because it's getting late in the game, but also with the batters that have power that he's facing in the inning.
Well, the matchup right here with Reynolds, I'm worried about maybe the cutter because Reynolds does drag his bat a little bit through the zone. See right there, a little bit. And one thing you see with this guy is a lot of really good fastballs can beat Mark Reynolds. He will eventually catch up to you and make you pay, but every day, day in and day out, he's got a slider speed bat. If you hang something in the middle range of the velocity, he can take you out from right field line to left field line. It's the kind of guy you want to see your pitchers challenge inside, get him to think about fastball inside so you can go away. If you go away too much, you could just kind of drag that bat through the zone.
1-2 breaking ball in the dirt, and it's 2-2. Desmond on deck has a couple of hits. He has 2 of the 3 for the Rockies tonight. The 2-2. Hit on a play.
I think the really good thing that Adam has done tonight is he's shown that he will throw the ball inside both sides of the plate, which I think earlier in the year he was struggling with that. He wasn't throwing the fastball inside enough, and it was creating the opposing team to lean out over the plate a little bit and kind of getting after those cutters.
2-2, and he struck him out. Strikeout number 6, and a big one for Wainwright.
This is exactly what I'm talking about, Danny, right here. Being able to throw the fastball inside and tying people up.
Well, as a hitter too, Jimmy, as you know better than most, everything away, and then he busts that fastball in.
Well, you get the hitter to start leaning a little bit, and that's why I said you have to be able to throw the ball in there over the course of the night to get people from stop leaning. And every time somebody leans a little bit more and you make the mistake, that's when you get hurt.
This will be pitch number 100 upcoming. Ian Desmond, a base hit to center, also a base hit to left. 2 for 2. If the Cardinals are to go anywhere this year, the starting staff has been very good, but you add in a good, if not great, Adam Wainwright, they're going to win a lot of games. And tonight he's been very good again. Carlos Martinez last night, Lance Lynn tomorrow, Mike Leake. ERA is under 2. The 2-1 pitch. See, Carlos is more concerned about his hitting right now. There's a ground ball that is fair. Peralta, strong throw to Jed Jerko. Take the Cardinals with you wherever you go this weekend with Fox Sports Go. You can stream all the games this weekend live on your phone. Download the free Fox Sports Go app. Stream the Cardinals wherever you go.
Does it make you nervous when you see one of the best pitchers in baseball working on his swing in the dugout?
Then again, it's Carlos. He has got such a fun personality, and to his credit, his foundation, Tsunami Waves, is really starting to make a greater impact in the Dominican, impoverished neighborhoods in the Dominican, also some of the kids back home in St. Louis. A high fly ball lifted down the right field line and out of play. Ball and a strike. Trevor Story at the plate, takes a pitch low. Ideally, this would set up, if Wainwright gets out of this inning, Rosenthal in the 8th, in the 9th, depending on the score. The 2-1 pitch. Curveball and a beauty. Do you find that guys like Wainwright or others, when they come into this ballpark, they stray away from the curveball because of the altitude, or do they just do what has gotten them to this point?
I think you try to do what's gotten you to this point, but Like I said, you make sure that your arm angle is correct when you get here, and you don't want to lift. You don't want to lose anything and float some stuff up to the plate, because if you lose your mechanics at all and get under some pitches in this ballpark, and we talk about it so much, but all joking aside, the ball goes a long way on hanging breaking balls here. You just really try to go out there and pitch your game and try to keep the ball down, move the ball around, and I think you really have to be aggressive. I think the problem with a lot of pitchers in this ballpark get a little scared and get a little nervous, and they don't pitch their game. Throw the fastball away.
And a fly ball hit out to right field. Adam Wainwright, 7 scoreless innings tonight at Coors Field. Night this evening for Adam Wainwright. 3-0 our score, 3 hits and 7 innings of work. Seems like he's been around forever. Chad Qualls is into the ball game. He's now pitching for his 9th major league team. His first season was back in 2004, and at that time he was with the Houston Astros. Spent some time in Arizona, Tampa Bay, San Diego, the Phillies, Yankees, Pittsburgh, Miami, Houston again, and now in his 2nd season with Colorado.
Chad Qualls, a good sinker, good slider. It's one of those guys that would give you fits. He used to know every pitch that he was going to throw and could not get a hit off of him, I feel like.
You detected something that he would give away?
Yeah, I had a little bit on him with the glove, and sinker slider to a lefty. Good sinker. I mean, he used to throw hard. Ball would run like crazy. And he knew he tipped his pitches a little bit. But like I said, he had such a good sinker. I mean, he was in the 95, 96 range. Wowee. I don't know if I've ever seen that before.
Foul ball just almost landed back on the field.
The foul ball bounced in the upper deck, bounced in the 2nd deck, then bounced in the 1st deck, and then bounced almost on the dugout and then back into the well.
0-2 pitch, and a high fly ball lifted out to left field off the bat of Jed Jerko, and that's the first out. Follow the bouncing
ball. Did it bounce as many times as I think it did? Upper deck, 2nd deck, 1st deck, into the into the dugout. It's unbelievable. Need to give some gloves out instead of jerseys. Just keeping it interesting, my friend.
Oh yeah. There's Johnny Peralta, 1 hit tonight. He's 1 for 3. You, partner, were 2 for 16 off of Chad Qualls.
I know it. I'm telling you.
As you said, it was tough. One of those 2 hits, though, a home run.
Probably in the Crawford boxes in Houston.
Ground ball that stays fair. Arenado.
Oh,
He's something else.
He is.
Rosendahl getting loose in the Cardinals pen.
I mean, he's basically catching that ball on the line and taking 3 or 4 steps into foul territory and throwing just a nice, smooth ball on the line right at first.
How many guys do you see throw and as you said, take 3 or 4 steps, then throw off balance that far, have that much on it? Usually you see a guy backhand it and try to settle it, then throw.
Well, the thing I like about him is I think he's a really good athlete, and I think he knows what he's capable of doing. You see a guy like Scott Rowland would catch that ball and stop, set his feet, and get back going towards first base, where he knows if he just gets his momentum under control, he can throw the ball off the run, off any foot, and he's confident he can throw the ball to first base. Probably not how you'd want to teach it, but that's why I said he's so good and knows exactly what he's capable of.
So Diaz now 5 straight games of the double. Goes for Cardinals shortstop since Rogers Hornsby. Now Hornsby primarily a second baseman, did play a little short. Molina a year ago had 8 consecutive games with a double. Diaz now at 5. The 1-1. Chopped foul. There's certain guys too defensively you watch them play, and maybe Arenado is one of those players, but they have a certain creativity of how they play the position, artistry. Ozzie Smith was like that.
I think what you're seeing too, as you say that and I say athletic ability, I'm sure this kid could probably do anything he wanted to do, and I'm sure Ozzie was the same way. And it's just, you know, you throw a basketball at him, he can dribble a basketball, shoot, dunk, whatever. I mean, he's such a big kid too. Put him on a football field, I'm sure he can go. Like, it's just, it's what makes him so special on the baseball field. He's just got so much body control.
2-2. Got a piece.
You see even Chad Qualls has a really good sinker, and the ball doesn't sink quite as much here as it did in Houston.
They used to talk about how heavy it was too. Hard sink, heavy ball. Describe what would be, for those that are listening or watching tonight, a heavy sinker.
Just hoping you weren't going to ask me that, because I was just really thinking about what that means, and it's something that's hard to describe, but it literally feels like when you make contact with the ball, that it not only looks like it's coming in harder than it really is, it feels like it's going to knock the bat out of your hand. Yeah. And Kevin Brown comes to mind with that. It just, the velocity just looks so much more, and it almost makes it mental for you.
By Bud Light, famous among friends. By Ford, the official cars and trucks of the St. Louis Cardinals. And by Academy Sports and Outdoors, for all for less. A chilly night here in Denver. And Trevor Rosenthal is our Chevy called to the pen.
This ought to be interesting here, Danny. Trevor Rosenthal's fastball average is 99 miles an hour, but his changeup, the average changeup, 89 miles an hour. That's only a mile an hour, maybe 2 off of Waino's fastball.
That puts it in perspective.
The changeup.
And a fastball that's taken high. Pinch hitter is Tony Wolters, the catcher, who's 2 for 3 with a double and a couple of runs scored. Rosenthal pitched in 1 game against the Dodgers and 1 against San Francisco, so well rested. That may be why we're seeing a lot of these pitches go high.
Well, like I said, these guys don't play here very often, and for a guy like Trevor Rosenthal could come here for 2 or 3 years and not pitch in a game, also being too fresh sometimes isn't good for some of these guys. And we saw him go back-to-back nights and at home and was hitting the 100 and 101 over and over and over. So what we were worried about, or what everyone was worried about, is that pitching back-to-back days was going to hurt him. He was on fire in St. Louis, and now we're seeing maybe too much rest.
3-1 pitch. 3-2. Wainwright, only the 3rd pitcher this year to keep the Rockies scoreless through 7 innings. John Lackey did it, and Jose Barrios of Minnesota. 3-2 pitch. He walked him. Game 3 tomorrow. We'll have it for you. Our Budweiser What's on Tap. Lance Lynn in 9 starts is 4-2, and coming off 3rd most pitches he's thrown in his career, 123. That was against the Dodgers, and that matchup against Clayton Kershaw, very, very good that night, as he went 8 innings, and he'll get the call tomorrow. The Rockies again go to their bench, and this is Parra. Interesting that Bud Black, not all managers feel comfortable to do this, but uses his backup catcher to pinch hit. And now it's Parra. Fastball and a strike.
Trevor made a good adjustment right there. He's throwing the last, after the first 2 pitches, way up and away, or way up. Last 4 or 5 pitches have been all over the zone.
And the 0-1.
I think it's tough. I mean, I used to be a pitcher when I was a younger player as a kid in high school and even a little bit in the minor leagues. And I feel for those guys. I think a guy like Trevor Rosenthal coming into a game on the line, basically, you know, you give up a walk and a hit and right back in this game, and having to adjust to a mound that you don't pitch on a lot in the pressure situation has got to be tough.
Now time is called. No balls and 2 strikes.
You know, and some visiting teams also, I know they're not supposed to play with the mounds a little bit. Maybe the bullpen mound not be quite exactly the same as the mound in the game.
Parra slowly hit to the right side and safe. Everybody safe, and the tying run comes to the plate. He's now 3 for 7 as a pinch hitter. The many countrymen player profile still drives the same cars parents gave him in high school. Apparently he's also kept some of that lunch money too. He was a pitcher at Georgia Tech, and they weren't sure which direction he would go. And obviously made the right choice as a position player, and here he is. He's never faced Trevor Rosenthal. He represents the tying run. Last night, 8th inning, Blackmon with this home run that knocked Martinez out of the game. Two and one the count. I want to correct my earlier statement about not facing Rosenthal. He actually has. He's 2 for 5 with a couple of doubles. Parra reaches on an error. It's ruled an error by Jerko. That's his 4th error this year. So runners at first and second, and the 2-1 pitch. Blackmon fouls it back.
Might have just done him a favor twice. Both of those pitches he chased might have been a little bit out of the zone. Talk about it all the time there, Danny. That's what velocity does for you.
You get away with misses.
You get away with guys being a little bit more aggressive, trying to catch up with that fastball.
Swing and a miss. Took some off it. And a strikeout of Charlie Blackmon.
Watch this. This is a gutsy pitch and a gutsy call by Yadier. You can tell right there, Charlie Blackmon not even thinking about anything but the fastball.
He is 0 for 5, 3 strikeouts against Trevor Rosenthal. Fastball misses outside at 100. Arenado is on deck. Last at bat, Blackmon saw 4 pitches, 98 or higher. The last pitch, 85. You see he's a little amped up. Clearly plenty of rest coming into this appearance tonight for Rosenthal. .100 on the gun. Two balls and 1 strike.
That's what I'm talking about right there. That is 99 miles an hour on the hands. I want to swing, and that too late. Tony, just that extra velocity gets you to have to cheat. Sometimes you just can't hold up.
The 2-2. Got him. Back-to-back strikeouts. That's the batting champion of a year ago, and he carved him up. Sometimes it just seems unfair. Well, this might be your ball game right here. He's 0 for 3 tonight. 364 his average with runners in scoring position. These two have met one time. Arenado is 0 for 1. Inning started with a walk, then an error. Charlie Blackmon came up with 2 runners on, leading baseball at 467 with runners in scoring position. He struck out. LeMahieu struck out. And now it's Arenado. He's grounded to third, fly to center, and popped out to first. A ball and a strike. Hit to the right side, tailing and out of play. Our crowd tonight, 48,106. And for the second consecutive game, it is a sellout here at Coors Field.
What do you think here, Danny? You look for a slider or changeup in this one?
Changeup. But be careful.
You? I like the changeup. I think you got to either try to get it to bounce one.
Exactly.
But I think if you throw any kind of a decent one, you're right in the right spot. There's the slider. The thing I like about the changeup here is the way he throws it. You kind of looks like the fastball. You know, when you throw the slider as a hitter and you recognize that spin right away, you can lay off. I think the changeup has the same spin as the fastball. Much harder to take that pitch.
The 2-2. And the reason I said the changeup, a lot of times Rosenthal does that. Now, however, I would say don't get beat on your best pitch.
On your worst pitch?
On your worst pitch, and your best pitch is the fastball.
Yep.
So there's a couple different ways to look at it.
There's so many things to watching this game from a distance when you're not in the heat of the battle, and you think, okay, just get him a fastball in on the hands, keep him from leaning out over the plate, make him speed up a little bit. There's all kinds of ways to get guys out, but one bad pitch is a tie game.
2-2. Get out of play.
You can see Arenado's already gone to a defensive swing. Maybe giving up on the home run, just trying to survive, maybe get on base somehow.
Last pitch at 101.
Trevor's just starting to get loose. You can see Yadier kind of shrugged his shoulders right there as I said, let me know what you need.
Runners go. And the pitch is hit out of play.
And that's right there from the center fielder's perspective. What I don't like, as you can see how much easier each swing is getting. And if you just throw that ball out over the plate, all he has to do is really serve it out there. One side you see not going to be the tying run. But if he hits that ball down the line, you got 2 runs scored and a guy on second or third in a whole lot of trouble. I'd like to see him finish this at bat right here.
The 2-2 instead of check on the runners.
I think if he can throw that changeup anywhere middle in and down, I think there's no way Arenado cannot swing over the top of it.
pickoff down at second. Right at the bag. I mean, at the bag.
It's one way to slow the runners down.
Yeah.
Hit him in the knee. He slid back in a second. He slid right back on top of Diaz's glove.
You see him trying to slide in front of Diaz, too, to hit the baseball.
Yeah. Diaz did a good job of really just trying to keep his body in front of everything and not try and catch that ball.
Can he put him away? The 3-2 pitch. And the bases are loaded. So 2 walks in the inning, an error, and it brings in Carlos Gonzalez. These two have met one time, and Cargo is 1 for 1. This big crowd, many of them on their feet. Two outs, bases loaded. And strike one. Cardinals trying to hold on for Adam Wainwright. 7 innings, no runs, 3 hits, struck out 6, walked 2. And the 1-1. So now it's a ball and 2 strikes. Only hitting .179 with runners in scoring position. The 1-2. 2-2. Well, you know he does not want to go to 3-2. And then you get a ball in the gap. In this ballpark, it becomes a tie game. We'd love to end the inning right here. The 2-2. Ground ball hit to the right side. Garcia makes the play, and a scoreless inning for Rosenthal. into Coors Field, whether they are the visiting team or the home team, but only 3 hits, and that's the case tonight through 8 innings for the Colorado Rockies. Chevy called to the pen. Longtime Marlin Mike Dunn signed a 3-year, $19 million deal in the offseason. ERA of 5.79. Hyundai pitch arsenal, good fastball, slider. April 10 games had a 1.17 ERA. May has not been so kind with an ERA of 11.37. First pitch is strike, and we're underway here in the 9th. Freeland, the starter for the Rockies, went 6. Oberg the 7th, Qualls the 8th, and now Dunn. Freeland in those 6 innings gave up 3 runs on 8 hits. Since then, the Rockies bullpen has been terrific. Oberg gave up a base hit to Tommy Pham back in the 7th. He was left stranded. Balls a 1-2-3-8. Richick tonight is 0 for 3 with a pair of strikeouts.
There's that pitch we've been talking about all night. So now he's laid off it a couple of times. Let's see if he can get himself back into getting another strike. And they're getting away from, they take a chance at it up high. Now they have to go back to maybe trying to pitch because you don't want to get to 3-2 and then have to throw a strike.
The 2-2.
And this is all about getting to be a little bit smarter hitter, better hitter, a little bit more mature hitter, is being able to lay off pitches to get to a better pitch to hit. This is something that he's working on, something that is very hard to do, like I said, during the course of a season, be able to recognize and also to get the feel for it.
2-2 pitch. Struck him out, strikes out for the 3rd time tonight, and he is 0 for 4. This copyrighted telecast presented by the authority of the St. Louis Cardinals. It may not be reproduced or retransmitted in any form, and the account and descriptions of this game may not be disseminated without the express written consent of the St. Louis Cardinals. With Jim Edmonds, I'm Dan McLaughlin. Jim Hayes is with us as well. And here is Greg Garcia. Strike 1. To the count. Dunn has pitched with the Yankees. He came up in 2009, the Braves, and then from 11 through 16 he was with Miami. Here's a 1-2 pitch. So back-to-back strikeouts for Dunn. Rockies, by the way, will have Reynolds, Desmond, and Story coming up. Walters stayed in the game as the catcher. Here's Matt Carpenter to pinch hit. Parra stayed in the game in right field. So there's a look at Seung-Hwan Oh. 2 outs, nobody on. First pitch to Carpenter. Popped up. Arenado will give it a look, and it's out of play. Jim has been trying to get Eugene Koo, the interpreter, on the pregame show, and he hopes to have an exclusive interview with Eugene Koo tomorrow.
I think he should. They look like they're throwing in a Christmas tree farm. Put some lights on those trees. Eugene's a good kid. I like Eugene. Gotta get him on the show.
Now, my understanding is Eugene has been a little hesitant to do the interview with the Cat.
Can you blame him?
On this one, I will. Jimmy is as easygoing as it gets. But we want to know more about Eugene, so we hope to visit with him tomorrow. You can see he's locked in right now, getting ready for that appearance by O. And we just got word from Jim that Eugene did indeed turn him down. So we will not hear from Eugene Koo tomorrow. You can just tell right there he's locked in. And I can understand that. Had nothing to do with Jim, we understand. 2-1 pitch. Outside, 3-1. So left on the bench for the Cardinals, Piscotty is not here. Wong, we don't know about his availability because he was a late scratch from the lineup. And you have Eric Fryer. So a short bench here tonight. Three-1 pitch to Carpenter. And he looks at ball 4. Two-out walk extends the inning to Dexter Fowler. And Fowler is 2 for 4 tonight. Singled and scored in the 3rd. Double to left center and came around on the 2-run homer by Tommy Pham. Ball 1. Dunn has had 3 seasons in his career, and they all came with the Marlins, in which he went over 70 appearances. Two 2-0 the count. Two-0 pitch to Fowler. Tap foul, 2-1. Wainwright is 16 feet high, and that was extended along the bullpens. Not seeing nearly as many home runs hit that way. They raise the wall in right center. I'm disappointed that we're not going to hear from Eugene tomorrow.
I'm going to have to talk to him. You know, we used to locker next to each other in spring training, so he'll put in a word for the Cat.
taken high. So a walk to Fowler. Back-to-back walks, and here's Tommy Pham. I know you've had to bail the cat out in a few instances with guys, and you would just tell him he was a good guy.
Yeah, I try to bail him out the best I can. I got to go down there and talk to Eugene now. I mean, I had to talk to Billy Hall back in the day. Maybe Jimmy might have gotten himself in trouble with the Milwaukee Brewers. I don't know. You know, just sometimes you got to just let some guys know that he's a good guy. Doesn't mean any harm.
Tommy Pham with 3 hits to single to center in the 3rd, 2-run homer in the 5th, and another base hit to center. That was in the 7th. 3 for 4 on the night, trying to extend this 3-run Cardinal lead. Runners at 1st and 2nd.
Like to see what Tommy does here, talking about how he's been a little bit more disciplined this year. Guys like this, usually the lefty specialists coming out of the bullpen, don't like to throw a lot of strikes. They like to get you to chase. A lot of times late in the game, everyone is too aggressive. See if he can't look for a good pitch to hit.
And that's ball 1.
A lot of these lefties come in, they make a living off of getting guys to chase out of the zone. People are so aggressive trying to drive in runs late in the game. They can make a living off of that.
Here's a 1-0 pitch to Tommy Pham. There's a strike, 1-1. Right-hander in the Rockies bullpen just picked up a baseball just in case. Inning started with back-to-back strikeouts, then back-to-back walks. 1-2 the count on Tommy Pham. Again in the bottom of the 9th, Reynolds, Desmond, Story due up for the Rockies. We'll do it again. Two and two. Two-two pitch to Tommy Pham with 2 runners on. Here it comes. And the count runs full. So the runner's off with this next pitch. Carpenter at second base. Fowler at first base. 3-2 pitch. The bases are loaded. He has walked. The base is loaded. Last year in 51 games, he walked a total of 11. Now, do they go to the right-hander here to face Molina? That'll be it for Dunn. Chevy called to the bullpen, and we'll tell you about it when we come back. Tonight, 1 inning, 12 pitches, and it went 1-2-3. This will be his 15th appearance, and he gets Yadier Molina, who could bust this game wide open. Bases loaded, 2 outs here in the top of the 9th, with the Cardinals leading by the score of 3-0. Mike Dunn came in, got the first 2, walked Carpenter, Fowler, and then Tommy Pham. He walked the bases loaded. Molina, first pitch, taken just a bit high. And the 1-0. 1 ball and 1 strike. Molina got the Cardinals on the board with a base hit to right field that scored Fowler back in the 3rd. He's 1 for 4 on the night, extended his hitting streak to 16. Here's a 1-1 pitch. 1-2 on Molina. The chance of Yadier here in Denver. Molina taps it foul. 2-2. Jed Jerko is on deck.
Trying to get Yadier out with the slider. I think that fastball right there is a complete waste pitch. Trying to speed up his eyes a little bit to go back to the slider. Little games that relievers play.
2-2. Molina taps it to Arenado. Bare hands and made the play and made it look easy. Some kind of player. Seung-Wan-Oh is loose and ready. We head to the bottom of the ninth. It's 3-0 St. Louis. Pitching tonight for the St. Louis Cardinals, very good. Adam Wainwright, 7 innings, 3 hits, no runs, struck out 6, walked 2. Then with the bases loaded in the 8th, Rosenthal gets out of a jam. And that's where we stand right now. A score of 3-0 in favor of St. Louis. Our Chevy called to the pen, Seung-Wan-Oh. And this will be his 21st appearance of the year. First time he has ever pitched at Coors Field. Faced the Rockies twice last year, both times coming at Busch Stadium. Faced 6 batters and struck out 5. If you go back to the time at Mile High Stadium, 2 years played there. This is the 100th time the Cardinals have come to Denver and played the Rockies. The previous 99 games, Cardinals have shut out the Rockies only twice. 3 outs away from doing it the 3rd time. Sometimes, 3 outs in this ballpark, it seems like an eternity. Here's a 1-0 pitch to Reynolds. A ball and a strike. He's 0 for 2 tonight with a walk. Pitched 1 time against the Dodgers, an inning and a 3rd, and 1 time over the weekend, 1 inning of work against San Francisco. Gave up a couple of runs in that appearance against the Giants. 3-1 pitch. 3-2. Three-2. Up the middle, base hit. Desmond digs in, 2 for 3 on the night. A single to center, single to left, grounded out to third, 2 for 3. Strike one. Rockies had the tying runs on last inning and the potential go-ahead run on with Carlos Gonzalez back in the 8th, and Rosenthal got him to round out to second. Here's the 0-1.
Oh, looks like he's a little uncomfortable out there tonight. He's looking around. His windup doesn't look as smooth as normal. That's what I was saying, when you come to a new ballpark, it's a little tough to get that rhythm going.
It out of play. It's a ball and a strike. 2 strikes. Outfield is deep for the most part, straight away. And the 1-2 pitch. Struck him out. It's now 9 Cardinals strikeouts tonight. Story is grounded into 2 double plays this year. Runner at first is Reynolds. And there's ball 1. Boy, it is a fine line in how you keep guys sharp. You don't want to overuse them. That may be the case a little bit here tonight for Mike Matheny. Rosenthal, while throwing hard, wasn't overly sharp. Might be the same case here with Seung-Hwan Oh, who wants the ball every single day. 2-0 the count.
Just watching him, like I said, it looks a little uncomfortable. It looks like he's rushing. I think he just wants to get the ball and throw it. Really like to see him keep the tying run from coming to the plate.
Oh yeah,
especially in this ballpark. Thank you very much. Is it me, or does he just look uncomfortable tonight?
A little bit.
He's a little more animated than normal. I don't know if he's just not feeling good or a little uncomfortable in this high altitude.
And it's popped out. Molina throws the mask near the screen and out of play. Three and 2 the count. The Dodgers blanked the Cubs again tonight. And so with that, that's 2 games in a row they have shut out the world champions. Cardinals win, they would be tied with the Cubs. Hit out of play. Cardinals trying to go to 24 and 22 on the year. And get Adam Wainwright to win number 5. Got him. Back-to-back strikeouts for O. Let's turn to tonight's Budweiser player of the game. No surprise, Adam Wainwright. 7 shutout innings at this ballpark, and that is no small feat.
It's a really good game tonight. Moved the ball around, got himself in a little bit of trouble a couple times, got behind in hitters, and made some really good pitches to get him through this game.
Tony Walters is the final hope now for Colorado. Came in as a pinch hitter, stayed in the game, backs away from ball one. Here's a 1-0. 1 ball, 1 strike. Here's a 1-1 pitch. And a fly ball hit down the left field line. Pham is over. Sliding, he's got it. The Cardinals take game 2 as they hold on. It's a shutout in Denver. 3-0 the final.
You can see right there, O going to his heart like, my bad. I'm just hoping he's not out of breath from this high altitude. But what a game by Adam Wainwright. Just an overall good pitched game for him, and he needs to keep building on that momentum, and good win. Shutout for the Cardinals here in the Mile High Stadium.
So just the third time that's happened here in Denver for the Cardinals. Sigh of relief for Seung-Hwan Oh. The Cardinals win it 3-0.